Africa's signature program from Nigeria is an intervention by the U.S. government through USAID to support the power sector in Nigeria. I will start off by speaking to Mr. Aldu's presentation. It's correct that more than half of the country has no power. So when you talk about Nigeria with 180 million people, you are saying about 90 million people have no power. The rest of so some people on the grid, the 90 million people that have no power rely on different sources of energy, firewood, and so on and so forth. So the major growth opportunity is to do off-grid. I just want to set the context so that you understand what Mr. Aldu, I thought some of us who didn't have the background would get lost. Basically what he's saying is that the fastest way to light up and provide power for 90 million people is to go off-grid and solar power. So I will leave the floor open for questions for Mr. Aldu on this presentation. Let's start from the left. If anybody has any questions on this presentation. Questions from the left? Right? He's looking for $200,000 for $10 million project. Yes, please. Mr. Aldu, I think you have to come up here so that you can respond directly to these questions.
I cannot hear him very well. Yeah.
Hello? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I'm not hearing him very well. Yeah.
We can't hear you.
We can't really.
We heard the first part, which is
maybe you can
come
closer. So I can answer. Yeah, sorry, your question. Okay.
The question for Solar Niger is that while they have an investment being done in Lagos, you have something set in Lagos.
You also acquired land.
You've acquired land. Right. And the question basically is your offtake. Do you have off-takers ready, or are you selling into domestic markets, or are you selling into the industrial market? Because I need to know that before I try to put in my money. I need to know who the end takers, the off-takers of your electricity will be.
Thank you. So who's your off-taker?
Yes, it depends on the investment outlay that we're able to get, because we just acquired land in Badagry, and our manufacturers, the components, all on the prototype basis for now. But if the investors that we are going to speak with are ready to pump in the type of capital we are looking at, and it depends on what area, just like what the minister was saying yesterday, you could localize your operation depending on where to give you the optimal returns at the onset.
I think that
if it is industrial or whatever, we deal on group and group basis. If it is government, if it is farmland, we are going to give priority to those who are investing in and telling us, because our operation will depend on those who buy into it and say, this is the area we want you to come in.
So I think it's very clear that this is still at feasibility stage, and they've acquired the land, and they're looking for people to support them to define the project. Thank you very much. I think we can take the next presentation on the energy sector. Can the next presenter please come up?
Marie. Education. The moderator should please step forward, Ms. Chiokezi Esquire, and we'll begin with Mrs. Marie David, who is Minister in Education, while we wait for second energy to be sorted out. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's been a real pleasure to be here and be a part of this summit. And I want to talk a little bit about my passion, which is education. So I have been out of this, I'm a product of both the Nigerian education system as well as the US education system. And when I came, having spent that many years abroad, I started to think about a way to give back to my country. So the first thing that came to me was education. By profession, I'm an attorney. I have a law degree, and I was called to Nigerian Bar in 1995. And I went back to school in the United States, and I do have a JD, which is the Juris Doctor, which is the equivalence of your LLB down here. But having all that education, I just felt that when I went to law school, but I felt a little gap in terms of how much I was able to assimilate and how well the instruction met the needs, like the present need of the business environment. So when I started to think about children that we have here back home in Nigeria, and that led us to invest in building and starting up a school. So we have a school in Gorimpa here in Abuja, and it's called Vantage Point Academy, and we have a booth out there. And the reason we're here on the list of those seeking investors is that we're seeking money, as far as money to expand the vision that we have. And it's not just about classroom education and getting the kids into the best schools. As you know, Nigerian kids are already very, very intelligent. But it's also about making them ready for the market once they get out, to hit the ground running and be able to take advantage of the opportunities out there and to be entrepreneurs themselves. So as part of our curriculum, we have a blend of, we take the early years curriculum from the British system, and then we look at the Americans for the things that we believe. So we take the best of all worlds and then blend it into our own Nigerian curriculum. And as a school, we are very, very grateful that the parents that we have had the privilege of helping raise their children educationally are very proud of our work. So we do get a lot of compliments on our Facebook and on our websites. But I come to you as diasporans and as Nigerians to seek, I want money so that we can expand so we can have our own land, because as you know, land rental properties in Abuja is very, very expensive, and we are in a prime location. So while we seek funds, we also actually seek passionate educators. We want you to come alongside with us. We need collaborators, because I truly believe that it takes a village to raise a child. And for many Nigerians that are so highly educated, we are asking that you come and join us so we can form a consortium and begin to impact the educational standard and how we educate our children here in Nigeria. So not only do they learn to read and write, not only do they learn to become experts in their chosen career, but they're also entrepreneurs going out there and able to start off their own business from the very beginning, and to hire people as well. So as part of our curriculum today, we have a very active entrepreneur club. And every semester, every term, they have multiple projects that they work on, while they're not slacking in their educational, the reading and arithmetic part of their work. The other thing that we have, other than just raising kids to be educated both academically and in terms of being an entrepreneur, is that we actually go out, we do a lot of social responsibility work, which is we go to the community and we do community projects. So for example, we partnered with a group of doctors from the United States last year, and we had some dentists in there as well. And so we offered free dental services to our community where we're located. So that was something that we took, I guess, from the American system. To whom much is given, much is required, as you know. And Nigerians are very, very, they're a big part of the social responsibility in the countries where they live. So because we have been spending a lot of time in our community, we're realizing that the work is beyond us. We need hands. And because we find that there's some kids that are very smart. So they're very, very interested in having that great education your children and my children are getting, but they don't have the money to go to school. So we have partnered with the LEA, which are the public school systems, and we go out there to actually find really smart and talented kids. And we offer them scholarship to come to Vantage Point Academy and then we take them from, as long as they're keeping their grades and as long as they're remaining top of their classes, the scholarship is ongoing. So that's the reason I'm here. I want to be able to take many, many more children to run them through scholarship programs, because I honestly believe that the money that our parents are taking back to the United States and back to England and Australia and wherever their kids are going to school, we can invest it in our school system here and bring our brains, all the educators that are in the room, bring our brains to come work with these children. And I think that if we work together, I've been looking a lot about other educational systems. Finland, I guess you know about Finland being one of the, topmost educational system. And then, so I look at that statistics every year. And we're still not where we want to. Nigeria is not, we're not even ranked amongst the top 20. But I know that the education I got in this country is what has gotten me to wherever I am and whatever I'm doing today. If you look at our kids, that's not the story. Most of you sitting around the room, if I ask you who has their child in public school, I probably won't see up to 5 hands. That's maybe even exaggerated. The reason is because the system is not what it was when we went to school. So my call to us in this room is, how can we bring back the glory? How can we bring back the rigor? How can we bring back all that you want to see in the educational system in Nigeria? You may ask, oh, she's a lawyer. Why is she in education? Yes, I am a lawyer. But my legal mind has allowed to be very analytical in terms of how I see the world and how I see education. And I honestly believe that if I find 2, 3 people here today that come to me and say, let us work together, let us do this together, Nigerians can make, Nigerians alone can make all the difference that we need in this country. So that is my plea, Mr. Moderator, and that is my desire today, that you would hear my cry and that schools will begin to come together. And if you look at it, there's a proliferation of private schools. Everywhere you go, there's a private school. Literally I've seen schools that are just running in 1 bedroom. It ought not to be that way. We can work together. Multiple schools can come together. We can create a strong curriculum. But it takes a heart of passionate people to raise these kids, the ones that really want to go to school, to become who they want to be and who you want to see them become, as well as the ones that their parents are wealthy enough to give them the required education. So I want to say a big thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I hope that I get people that respond to me at the end of today. Thank you.
Where do you think you're going? You haven't got your, whatever it is you're asking for, you haven't got it and you're running away. Did you all listen to that impassioned plea? Marie, my heart goes out. But what I'll say is there anybody in this room who feels moved by what you have heard? Please show your hand. That's 1 over there. Thank you. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I've known Marie for a little while since we've been together with Nidan, particularly involved in this project. And she's always invited me to come over and see her school, but I'd never made out the time. We were too busy. But it was only yesterday when I went over, did a little round of the exhibitions, and I spoke to her team, and I realized how silly I have been. You know, because it doesn't take much to make a big impact in these areas. Only thing, Marie, as a moderator, I have a role to play. My job is to tighten up your pitch and make sure that the pitch meets its target audience and that there's a response. Now, you haven't told us specifically what it is you want, and you are required to do so. So can you tell us exactly, very briefly, what it is you're looking for?
I guess that's the job of a moderator. They get you back in line. I want money to be able to grow. And the initial investment we made into the school was about $500,000 US dollars, and that did not go anywhere. So if I was to get, and that was out of pocket, we're not funded by anyone at the moment. So if I was to get people that are, you know, really passionate and funding us today at the tune of $2 million, we can build a place that not only houses the school that we have today, but we can bring in more, and we can open it up and build, what is it called, boarding facilities, where you can actually raise children, teach them, you know, manners in terms of how to be adults in the future.
Okay, thank you very much. You are looking for money, and your target is to raise $2 million for this. What is this money going to be spent on? What are you looking for money for? What is the gap in your business plan? Are you looking for money for expansion, for working capital? And are you, apart from the money you're looking for, what are you offering your investors specifically? Equity? What?
Okay. We offer partnerships, and we actually have looked at different models of partnership. You could take equity in our school, in our business. And to be honest with you, we started this out not even as a business, Kachi. It was more out of just the shared desire to see a change, to go back home and make my own home strong as what I was seeing in the United States where my children are being educated. So yes, I do want money, and I'm open to offers of different types. It could be a collaborative framework, but it could also be in form of equity. You know, you take a share of the business. So I'm open to all of that. And it could even be like a conglomerate, right? Where you have, maybe you already have, yes, we set up a partnership, and we have different, and one of the things that I've learned in project management is, so you set it all out, right? But you begin to take it in bits and pieces. So as of right now, what I'm seeking investment for, one is to get out of paying my landlord $5 million every year, which is burden, because so that's just an example. So we're looking to get a piece of property and then build our own space so that it can fit all the programming that we have as of today.
Okay. Right. So what I'm going to suggest with this pitch is that about 6 hands went up there. Is there anyone who would like to come up very quickly, 10 seconds, 1 minute at the most, and give an indication of how you would like to involved? But at the end of that, you can have a little huddle with Marie over there and get the details and get all of that tidied up. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Is that okay? Yeah, okay, right. Just an addendum.
Okay.
Because we have to go.
A quick addendum, please. You know, I'm conscious of the time here. So one of the things that we have is we have mentorship programs where